To have a relationship with God, we must be honest and have integrity, and we must speak life in our tongues. Because it is written in Matthew 5:37, but let your communication be yea, yea, nay, nay. For whatsoever is more than these cometh of evil. And it is also written in Proverbs 18:21, life and death are in the power of the tongue, and that I love it shall eat the fruit thereof. So in Matthew 5:37, when it says let your communication be yea, yea, and nay, nay, it's basically saying speak what needs to be spoken. Speak what is right. And don't speak out of arrogance. Never speak out of tone. Never speak out of lustful intent. But we must always be speaking out of the right tongue. Because it is also written, the righteous know what is correct. But the wicked, but destruction is in the mouth of the wicked. Because again, in Matthew 37, it says, for whatsoever is more than these comes of evil. So when we speak more than just when our yes is not our yes and when our no is not our no, what comes is evil. Because the heart, what is inside the heart will come out of our mouths. So what comes in our heart must come righteousness. And what comes out of our mouth must be correct and righteous. What comes out of our mouth must be life and not death. What comes out of our mouth must be a yes, and it must be a yes, yes, and a no, no. Because if our yes is not our yes, the wickedness is in our hearts. When our no is not our no, then wickedness is in our hearts. And when that is not when our yes is not a yes and our no is not our no, then we are speaking death into every situation. And destruction is coming out of our mouths. And when destruction is coming out of our mouths, we there's an impasse between us and God. Because God brings light into the midst of the darkness. God gives life where there is no life. In your darkest situation, there is light because God is there. When you think there is no life in this situation, and when you think there's no life left for you in your darkest situation, God brings that life because He is the light of man. So we must be constantly watching our hearts, because it is written, watch thy heart without diligence, for out of it come the issues of life. And when we let the issues of life speak out of our mouths, our yes is not our yes and our no is not our no. We're not being honest, and we're not being honest with God. We're not being honest with others. We're not showing integrity out of our mouths. We're only speaking destruction and death into every situation. And when we speak destruction and death into every situation, we speak destruction and death not only on the lives that we speak to, but on our lives. So in order to have a relationship with God, we must speak life, because He speaks life into every situation. His word is life. He is the way, the truth, and the life. So we must speak life into every situation, because He spoke life into our situations. So we must speak life into every situation. We must let our yes be yes and our no be no, so that we will be in tone with the Holy Spirit. Because if we're not speaking out of integrity, then we're not at peace with God. So let your yes be yes and your no be no. And speak life and not death. What comes out of your mouth should be light. Not cursing, not swearing, not threats. It should be righteousness and life and light. and correctness.